First thing I'm going to do this morning is try to fix a little bit of these ruts. So the hydremic gets through here fine, but it just kind of slows down when it bogs through here. They had a little bit of base rock, but somebody just put it right over the top of the grass and the topsoil. So I may even try to dump some of this clay because I got to run, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 more loads over here. So this job's kind of turned out to be slightly frustrating because the guy that I'm doing this for, I think his dad actually owns this property. So he came over the other day. He was wanting that little single axle truck. So he was wanting those boulders, and then I guess he's gonna want all this clay and such that we're digging out of there. So actually everything I cut out yesterday, I was piling it up, anticipating that friend of mine that lives down at the end of the road that works at the gas company to show up at the end of the day and haul off a few more loads to his place for a pad. But the father, like I said, of the property, I guess, or the actual property owner, decided that he didn't want to give that guy the clay anymore after I piled it up. That he thought he could benefit from it or use it, but he also doesn't want it piled up next to this house. He wants it out in this field. So had I known that, I would have just been digging it out of the hole and dumping it right in the hydrema from the get-go. But yeah, so now I'm gonna have to just, I can finish kind of getting the floor slicked up and work on all that, but I've got everything pushed over to that corner. It would be a whole lot easier if I could sit up top and just scoop out of that corner and load the truck. So I'm going to spend a couple hours this morning just loading that big pile up that I stuck on the outside of the basement yesterday and moving out here to the field. Like I said, I'm just going to try to fix some of these ruts. I probably what I have to do, or I may end up doing, is cutting some of this dirt, putting some of the clay in here. I may just keep dressing these ruts up. That'll be faster than trying to cut all this stuff out. That's also the problem too. The son is worried about time and money, but the father wants all this stuff in a certain place. I don't know. It's kind of a, I don't normally talk or complain about a lot of this stuff, but it's a little frustrating. I just want to get this thing dug and get on down the road. And not to badmouth anybody, but some of this is what you run into when you don't have much experience, but you're going to try to be your own general contractor and save money. So you usually end up costing yourself more money. Because both of them were also extremely surprised how much material I'm taking out. I'm like, well, I figured there's going to be about 2,000 yards of material when they painted the basement out the size that it was, and I'm digging it, 9 feet deep. That's a lot of area, a lot of earth. That's part of it. You try to be as transparent with people, and they kind of act like they understand some of it until it gets started, and then they're like, whoa, why is there so much? So all part of it. I can thank Vince for this job. This isn't actually going to last. I'm sure for the first time I drive the hydrema through it, it's just going to bog down. But like I said, I can cut it out, throw it to the side, and put some clay, which I may have to do, but I'm going to try to just fill them in and keep running over it until it works back out, and then we'll repeat the process. Because I would really, really like to get this thing wrapped up today, get my stuff out of here. Plenty other of work to work on. There's a little base rock right there. So. We get most of the boulders out of here yesterday. We're down to all these smaller ones, I guess we'll call it. But yeah, here's my pile that I got piled up for Nick to come over here and haul off. But now I'm gonna move it, so I think I'll just try to. I guess it'll be easier if I can sit up top. I like doing that, and I kind of just keep pulling everything up to me, but I guess I'll just try to rake this down where I can climb up there. I kind of got it on some of my topsoil that I was going to save for them to backfill in the ramp, but and just as soon as I rake this out, trying to run up on there, this machine's going to sink. I may just end up hauling everything out. Try to save some of that dirt and leave here. So. At this point, I'm honestly not worried how they backfill as long as it's not me. So. Alright, let's go get the truck. Guess we'll start off trying to scrape out what's stuck in the bed, even though it'll pull the truck back. It'll get stuck again, but it's the nice part about using the grading bucket. You can just scrape her out really easy. Start loading this thing up. My little Hydrema. Because I don't know, like stuff like this, I have no idea. There's no way I would have been able to move this stuff, I mean, even with like the track loader or anything like that. At least not in a timely fashion, so yeah, they would have had to come up with something else if they wanted this stuff out there in the field. So this truck definitely helps out for stuff like that. This pile probably won't take all that long. It's probably not as much as what it looks like it is, so. This will just give me a little more working space for cleaning that basement out. Like I said, it's pretty much there. I don't know, you probably can't really tell with the shadow, maybe you can, but the majority of it I gotta go along the edges, because that's where I tried to dig and that layer of rocks at, so it kind of kicks out, so I need to make sure those are all squared off. And then I got pretty much a load or two down here in this corner. It's where I kind of piled it to, so the rest of it's pretty much on grade. I just need to kind of slick it up, and then I'll finish kind of cutting the ramp down to the bottom that it needs to be. So we are close in that aspect. Like I said, I get this out of the way so that everyone's got a little more room during construction. And then I think he's coming back later on, or lunchtime or something, to get him a couple more loads of those smaller rocks. And he owns a property across the street too, so you can take him over there. But yeah, now we'll go and dump this first load. The first time through it may not be too bad. It's trip like 5 and 6 going through here. That may rut back up pretty quick. But like I said, if we have to, we'll throw some clay in there. We'll run that over. I dropped the rock. hold up a few rounds. Tilts back, so I gotta figure out there's something up in there that came loose. I think I got it set back too far now, or it's rubbing the back, so always something to work on. Alright, let's load up. Well, here is the finished basement dig. So, finally got it all cleaned out, squared up, got the edges kind of straightened up as best I can, except for some of those big rocks. I didn't want to keep trying to get those and take a chance of undermining that even more than what it already has right there. But hauled out, I think it was 235 loads, and Hydrema was like 120, and I think it was 15 in the Peterbilt. There's probably some more. I think I had put 6 or 8 in that friend of mine's Freightliner that was here the other night, and then however much there I got piled up. It's like for the ramp to backfill, and then I kind of lost the front corner, so I'm hoping that I dug it out way further than what it actually needed over there. So I figured that's going to be easier to leave that there for backfill instead of hauling that to the field. And then yeah, took the roller in there, rolled it in, and I kind of just slicked it back up to get rid of the divots in case it does rain before the concrete guys can get here. But got the ramp all slicked up, kind of graded the front yard. Now we're kind of getting the tracks and the mud off everything cleaned up, and I'm going to jump back in the loader and dress up my ruts over there. I just kind of wanted to show the basement before it got completely dark in about an hour, I guess, or less. So yeah, after all of the rock and whatnot, I finally got this thing pretty much flat, level, and squared up. So it turned out pretty sharp for how bad it looked before. But all right, let's get these things kind of cleaned up, get my tracks cleaned up, and start moving stuff back to the shop.